Hello students, in fifth video of chapter solution, you will be studying towards evaporation and vapor pressure, Raoult's law for solid liquid solution and liquid liquid solution. So first of all, know towards evaporation and vapor pressure. Class, you already know that the process of the conversion of liquid into vapor below boiling point is known as evaporation. But the conversion of liquid into vapor on boiling point, it is known as vaporization. Generally, boiling point of the given liquid reach when its vapor pressure become equal to 1 atm. So, the process of change of liquid into vapor state on standing is termed evaporation, or the process of escape of molecules from liquid state to the gas or vapor state is known as evaporation. Evaporation may be explained in terms of motion of molecules. At any given temperature, all the molecules do not possess the same kinetic energy. That is, average kinetic energy is, however, the same. Some molecules move slowly, some at intermediate rate, and some move very fast. A rapidly moving molecules near the surface of liquid may possess sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the attraction of its neighbors and escape, that is, evaporate to the escape space above liquid. Evaporation is accompanied by cooling as the average kinetic energy of the remaining molecules decrease. So in short, we can say that evaporation cause cooling. Evaporation depend on the following factor, means factor affecting evaporation. First factor is nature of liquid. If the intermolecular forces in the liquids is found to be more, at that time evaporation is found to be less. It means evaporation is inversely proportional to intermolecular attraction, that is intermolecular forces. The force of attraction among identical molecules known as cohesive force. The liquid having low intermolecular force evaporate faster in comparison to the liquid having high intermolecular forces. For example, ether evaporate more quickly than alcohol, and alcohol evaporate more quickly than water. It means the intermolecular force of attraction in alcohol is less than water. In this way, we may compare the intermolecular force. Ether contain the intermolecular force less as compared to alcohol, alcohol less as compared to water. In short, we can say that rate of evaporation in ether is greater than alcohol is greater than water, because the evaporation is inversely proportional to force of attraction among the molecules. Second factor is surface area. Class, you already know that rate of evaporation is directly proportional to surface area. If the surface area of given liquid is more, at that time the evaporation is also found to be more. Now next factor, temperature. Temperature is also one factor which affects the rate of evaporation. Rate of evaporation is found to be directly proportional to temperature. It means if the temperature is more, the rate of evaporation, that is conversion of liquid into vapor, is found to be more. Next is vapor pressure. Class, you already know that when the vapor pressure is found to be equal to 1 atm, at that time the given liquid is found to be boil. So in such condition, the pressure of the vapor is known as vapor pressure. When the space above a liquid is closed, the molecules cannot escape into open, but strike the walls of the container, rebound, and may strike the surface of liquid where they are trapped. The return of molecules from the vapor state to the liquid state is known as condensation. So condensation is such process in which vapor state is converted into liquid state. As evaporation proceeds, the number of molecules in the vapor state increase, and in turn the rate of condensation increase. During evaporation, a time comes that the rate of evaporation is found to be equal to rate of condensation. So this is known as equilibrium state. The rate of condensation soon become equal to the rate of evaporation, that is, the vapor in the closed container is in equilibrium with the liquid. So in this situation, the rate of evaporation is found to be equal to rate of condensation, means conversion of liquid into vapor is found to be equal to conversion of vapor into liquid. So rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. At this stage of equilibrium, the concentration of molecule in vapor phase remains unchanged. The pressure exerted by the vapor in equilibrium with liquid at given temperature is called as vapor pressure. Since the rate of evaporation increases and rate of condensation decreases with increasing temperature, vapor pressure of liquid always increase as temperature increase. At any given temperature, the vapor pressure of different liquid are found to be different because their cohesive force means force of attraction among the identical molecules. The vapor pressure of different liquid are different because their cohesive force are different. Easily vaporized liquid are called volatile liquid. In other words, we may say that if the given liquid convert into its vapor state at normal temperature is known as volatile liquid, and they have relatively high vapor pressure. Vapor pressure values in mm of mercury for water, alcohol and ether at different temperature are given in this table. It, it is observed that non-polar or less polar liquids such as diethyl ether and ethyl alcohol possess fairly high vapor pressure on account of weak intermolecular forces, whereas polar molecules such as water, which have strong intermolecular forces, possess relatively lower vapor pressure. Means vapor pressure is inversely proportional to intermolecular forces. The vapor pressure can be measured by using barometric method. The apparatus given here is used to measure the vapor pressure. Vapor pressure exerted by the liquid in flask in tar can be measured by recording the distance in millimeter by which the column of mercury has been lowered. So here this distance indicate the vapor pressure of liquid. Now next point is vapor pressure of the solution and Raoult law. Raoult law is related with the vapor pressure of different component present in the given solution. Solution may be solid liquid solution, may be liquid solution. Solid liquid solution means the solute is solid, non-volatile solid, and solvent is volatile liquid. Liquid solution means solute and solvent both are volatile liquids. So Raoult's law valid for vapor pressure of solid liquid solution and the vapor pressure of liquid solution. Class, as you already know that evaporation means conversion of liquid into vapor is found to be directly proportional to surface area. So here in these two vessel, in first one only the given liquid component is given. So here open area is more, so rate of conversion of liquid into vapor is found to be more. But if we add the solute, non-volatile solute in the given solvent to form solution, some of the surface area also occupied by non-volatile solute. So open surface area for conversion of liquid into vapor is found to be less. At that time rate of evaporation is found to be low. So in short we can say that if we add the solute in given solvent, the rate of evaporation is found to be decreased. Ultimately the vapor pressure is also found to be decreased. So the vapor pressure of the solution is less than vapor pressure of pure solvent. This is explained on the basis of surface area of the liquid, that is solvent from which evaporation occurs. This you already know. In the case of solution, a part of liquid surface is occupied by non-volatile solute particles. Therefore, evaporation of liquid occurs from a lesser surface area shown in this figure. So here surface area is less, therefore rate of evaporation will be less, but here surface area is more, means only the solvent particle are here, therefore the rate of evaporation, that is vapor pressure, is also found to be more if the given solvent is pure. But given solvent is impure, means that contain also the solute. At that time some surface area also occupied by the solute, therefore rate of evaporation, ultimately the vapor pressure is found to be decreased. This results in lowering of vapor pressure. Therefore, it is always true that whenever a non-volatile solute is added to a solvent, the vapor pressure of the resultant solution will be less than the vapor pressure of solvent. So, in short, we can say that the vapor pressure of pure solvent is found to be greater than the vapor pressure of impure solvent, that is solution. It is because of the sum of the area occupied by the solute particle. Now Raoult's law. Raoult's law related with the vapor pressure of solution. So solution may be solid liquid solution, may be liquid liquid solution. So first one, Raoult's law for solution containing non-volatile solute. So non-volatile solute means solute when dissolved in the solvent to form the solution, and when that solution is heated, then only the solvent particle get converted to vapor, but the solute particle not converted to vapor. So here the non-volatile solute means the solute does not convert into its vapor state. The vapor pressure of a solution is due to the solvent only, as solute being a non-volatile component has no contribution. According to Raoult's law, the vapor pressure of a solution containing non-volatile solute is proportional to the mole fraction of the solvent. So in this situation, there are two components in the solution, solute and solvent. Solute is non-volatile and solvent is volatile. So when we heat that solution, the vapor formation take place only due to the particles of solvent. So the vapor pressure of solution will depend only on the mole fraction of solvent particle present in solution, because solute is non-volatile, therefore only solvent will convert into vapor. So in this situation, vapor pressure of the solution is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. So here P is the vapor pressure, A here toward the solvent particle, it directly X is the mole fraction, A is the solvent. Therefore, vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. Or we may write this one, Pa is equal to Kxa. Here K is a constant known as personality constant. For a pure liquid, XA is equal to 1. Then K become equal to vapor pressure of solvent, which is equal to P naught A. So here P naught A is constant, that is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. So finally we may write the vapor pressure of solution for non-volatile solute present in the volatile solvent is PA is equal to P naught A into AXA. So here P naught A is a constant known as vapor pressure of pure solvent. So finally we may say that if the if non-volatile solute present in the solution, at that time vapor formation depend on the particle of solvent only. So in such situation, vapor pressure of solvent decide the vapor pressure of solution. So finally we may say vapor pressure of solution is equal to P naught A into XA. Now there is a graph which related with the mole fraction of solvent and vapor pressure of solution. If the mole fraction of solvent, here we taking the XA, that is the mole fraction of solvent at x-axis, and vapor pressure of the solution at y-axis. This line indicate if the mole fraction of solvent is found to be increased, at that time vapor pressure is also found to be increased. So slope of the line will be equal to tan theta, that will indicate P naught A, that is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Now second law, that is Raoult's second law for binary solution. Binary solution means the solution which contain only two components, one solute and one solvent, are volatile liquids. So here volatile liquids, in this binary solution, solute and solvent both are liquid in liquid state, and both are found to be volatile in nature, means both convert into its vapor. According to Raoult's second law, the partial pressure of any volatile constituent of a solution at a constant temperature is equal to the vapor pressure of pure constituent multiplied by the mole fraction of that constituent in the solution. So in short, we can say that if we taking the binary solution of volatile liquids, means solute and solvent both are found to be volatile. So in this situation, solute and solvent both convert into their vapor state. So vapor pressure of solution decided by the partial pressure of solute as well as the partial pressure of solvent present in the solution. Let a mixture, that is solution, be prepared by mixing Na moles of liquid A. Here Na is the number of moles of liquid A, Nb is the number of moles of liquid B, Pa and Pb. Pa is the partial pressure of liquid A, Pb is the partial pressure of liquid B, P naught A is the vapor pressure of pure component A, and P naught B is the vapor pressure of pure component B. So if we implement Raoult's second law, at that time Pa means partial pressure of component A. Partial pressure we indicate at that time if more than one component present together in a container. So Pa, that is the partial pressure of component A, will be directly proportional to Axa. we may write this one, PA is equal to P naught A into XA. So here P naught A is a constant known as vapor pressure of pure component A. Similarly, we may write for second component, PB means partial pressure of component B is directly proportional to its mole fraction, that is XB. Or we may write this one, PB is equal to P naught B into XB. So again, since second component is also volatile in nature, so here for second component, partial pressure, that is partial pressure of component B is equal to P naught B into XB. If we implement Dalton's law of partial pressure, then we may calculate the total vapor pressure of the solution. So here we may write for first component, that is PA is equal to P naught A into XA. For second component, PB is equal to P naught B into XB. If total pressure is P at that time, on implementation of Dalton's law of partial pressure, vapor pressure of solution P is equal to PA plus PB. Here PA is the partial pressure of component A and PB is the partial pressure of component B, which are present in the solution. Relation between Dalton's law and Raoult's law. The composition of vapor in equilibrium with solution can be calculated by applying Dalton's law of partial pressure. Mole fraction of vapor A and B, YA and YB respectively. Here we are going to find out the composition of different component in vapor phase. So here YA and YB are the mole fraction of component A and B respectively. Here PA and PB are the partial pressure of component A and B respectively, and P is the pressure of solution, that is vapor pressure of solution. So in this situation we may write partial pressure of component A is equal to YA into P. So here YA is the mole fraction of component A in vapor phase. P is the pressure of solution. Similarly, partial pressure of component B is equal to YB into P. Here YB is the mole fraction of component B in vapor phase. So if we take PA and PB together, then we may find out YA is equal to, from here YA, if we want to take YA, so YA will be equal to PA upon P. Means vapor mole fraction of component A in vapor phase equal to partial pressure of component A upon total pressure of solution. So finally we at the place of PA, you already know PA is equal to P naught A into XA. So at the place of PA we may write P naught A into XA. Similarly at the place of PB we may write P naught B into XB. Therefore, in case of an ideal solution, the vapor phase is richer with a more volatile component, the one having a relatively greater vapor pressure. So in short, we can say that if the given component is more volatile, it consists its more vapor pressure in its solution. Means if the components present in the solution are more volatile, at that time the partial pressure of components which containing its more volatile character is found to be more. Now Raoult's law versus Henry law. Class, you already know that Raoult's law and Henry law both are related with the partial pressure. Henry law related with the partial pressure of the gas which is going to dissolve in the particular liquid, whereas Raoult law related with the partial pressure of different component present in the solution. So according to Raoult law, vapor pressure, according to Raoult law, vapor pressure of the volatile component which may be solvent or solute is directly proportional to the mole fraction. So we may write Pa is equal to P naught A into XA. This you already know. Here P naught is a constant, is also known as vapor pressure of pure component A. XA is the mole fraction of component A. If a gas dissolves in liquid, then according to Henry law, Pa is equal to Kh into XA. Here Kh is the constant known as Henry constant. So if we compare Raoult's law and Henry law, then we getting the difference between these two equations with respect to constant. In the case of Raoult's law, here we taking P naught A is the constant. In the case of Henry law, we taking getting Kh is the constant. So if P naught A from Raoult's law and Kh from Henry law equal to each other, at that time no difference between Raoult's law and Henry law. In such situation, we may say that Raoult's law is a special case of Henry law. So in this way, partial pressure of the volatile component, that is gas, is directly proportional to the mole fraction of gas in the solution. Now we may compare Raoult law and Henry law with compare with respect to similarity and dissimilarity. So first of all, similarity. Both these laws are applicable to the volatile component of the solution, and the vapor pressure of volatile component is directly proportional to their mole fraction. Difference is that in the case of Raoult law, we take the partial pressure is equal to P naught A into XA, or partial pressure of component B, PB is equal to P naught B into XB. According to Henry law, we take PA, that is partial pressure of gas over the solution is equal to Kh into XA. So here Kh is the Henry constant and XA is the mole fraction of solute, that is gas, which dissolved in the particular liquid to form solution. There is difference in personality constant P naught A and Kh. P naught A is the constant for vapor pressure of pure component A, and Kh is the Henry constant or personality constant in Raoult law and Henry law respectively. So here P naught A is the constant in the case of Raoult law and Kh is the constant in the case of Henry law. Thank you.